Hey, here we go with one-step equations with multiplication and division, part 2. So this is just another practice video. The more you see it, the more in a flow you'll get. And I do want you to be thinking about these problems as I talk about them, but then you're going to have a chance to practice some on your own as well. So again, one-step equations with multiplying and dividing. And remember, let's first right away on this first equation, before we even really look at it, let's first write our inverse operations for multiplication and division. Our inverse operations for multiplication and division are themselves. So if you need to undo multiplication, you need to divide. If you need to undo division, you multiply. Okay? All right. So I see that this equation says 4x equals 20. I'm going to start with step number 1, which is draw my fence. To keep both sides of the equal sign equal, to keep the sides separate. I drew my fence. Now I'm going to find the variable. 4x, x is the variable. I want to get x by itself on that side of the equation. Next, I need to use the inverse operation to get x alone. What is happening to x right now is that it is being multiplied by 4. I don't want it multiplied by 4. I want it by itself. To undo the multiplying by 4, I need to use the inverse of multiply, which is divide by 4. Now remember, if I divide by 4 on one side, I have to divide by 4 on the other side. So that leaves me with, on this side, I got x alone, because times 4 divided by 4, that undoes itself. And that leaves me just with x, which is awesome. That's what I wanted. X right here. Remember to write your equal sign right on top of that straight line again, because the equal sign has to be right in the center with some stuff on the left and some stuff on the right. Okay? So we got x alone. Awesome. Now we have to calculate this side because it says 20 divided by 4. So we've got to figure out what 20 divided by 4 is. We need to figure out how many times 4 fits into 20. So let's figure it out. Let's count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So it took 5 4s to get to 20. So 20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, this is all the stuff that I need you to have on your answers. When you do this on yours, I need you to have all this. I need you to have the line. I need you to have the same operation on both sides. And I need you to have x equals something or whatever the variable is and telling me what it equals. I want all of these steps completed on yours as well. Okay, now the part that you don't have to write down, but I want you to do in your head is when you check your answer. So I'm going to check my answer. This said 4x equals 20, but we know that x actually equals 5 now. We hope so. So I am going to replace the x with 5 and see if it's true. Is it true that 4 times 5 is 20? Yes, that's true. So our answer was correct. All right. This problem says n divided by 2 equals 6. N divided by 2 equals 6. So before I even really think about what I've got to do, I know that in my brain, the first thing I have to do before, no matter what operation, no matter what's happening, is to draw a line through the equal sign. So I draw my line through the equal sign. My line is through the equal sign now. So I'm going to check that off of the checklist. My next job is to find the variable. My next job is to find the variable. So I read it and it says n divided by 2 equals 6. So my variable in this expression or in this equation, is n. Okay, is n. All right, so I found the variable. Now I'm going to read what comes next. What comes next is use the inverse operation to get the variable alone. Use the inverse operation to get the variable alone. So I want to use the opposite of dividing by 2 to get this n alone. Again, to get the n by itself, to get the n alone, I want to undo the division, so I need to multiply. I am going to multiply both sides by 2 times 2 and times 2. And that's awesome because I can get n by itself this way. N divided by 2 times 2, the divided by 2 times 2 goes away, and I am left with just n, which is awesome. I got the variable alone. Make sure you put your equal sign right on top of the line so that it's still separating both sides of the equation. And then on the other side, I've got to calculate what is 6 times 2. So to multiply 6 times 2, you can count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, and we can check our answer. Is it true that 12 divided by 2 equals 6? Heck yeah, that's true. Awesome. So our answer is correct. Next problem. This says 8 equals 2f. When I see something smushed right next to each other, I know it's going to be multiplication. I've got that in my brain right now, but I'm still going to follow the steps to solve this equation. So step 1, draw a fence. Sweet. Step 2, find the variable. This is a variable that we haven't used very often, but it's still the variable. It's still the letter. It is f. F is what we are trying to get by itself. But f is being multiplied by 2. We want to get rid of multiplying by 2. So we are going to divide by 2. If I divide by 2 on one side to get f alone, I've got to divide by 2 on the other side. All right. So times 2 divided by 2, those cancel each other out. And all I have on this side is f. Yay, we got the variable alone. We got rid of the times 2 by dividing by 2. In the middle, I have an equal sign. And on the left, I have to calculate 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2, how many times does 2 fit into 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 fits into 8 4 times. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. All right. So I calculated it, but I'm going to check my work. We say that f is 4, so I'm going to replace f with 4 in the equation. 8 equals 2 times f, but we're not going to write f, we're going to write 4. Is it true that 8 equals 2 times 4? Yep, that's true. So that works. All right. Last one for this video today. This one says 3 equals m divided by 5. Remember that I said divided by. We're going to need that. So I draw my line through the equal sign. I find the variable. The variable is m. I want to get m by itself. I don't want it to be divided by 5 anymore. I just want it by itself. So I have to get rid of dividing by 5 by multiplying by 5. So I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. Times 5 times 5. Oops, I found that variable. Now, m divided by 5 times 5, that undoes itself. That undoes each other, and it leaves you just with the m. It leaves you just with the m. So that goes away, and we are going to have this m, and we're going to write it down below on the same side it started on. So we write m, and we got the variable by itself because we got rid of divided by 5. So we write m, we write the equal sign right on top of that line going down the center. And now the only thing that is left to do is to calculate what 3 times 5 is. We have to calculate this side. 3 times 5. You can count by 3s or you can count by 5s. For me, it's easier to count by 5s. I go 5, 10, 15. 3 times 5 was 15. And we can check our answer by writing the equation again. 3 equals m divided by 5. But we can't do it with m. We have to replace m with what we got for m. What we got for m was 15. So 3 equals 15 divided by 5. Is that true? 5, 10, 15. Yep, that's true. So our answer was correct. 15 equals m. And we are done calculating. Right. Again, your assignment is going to look really similar to this. In fact, it's going to look pretty much exactly like this, except for different numbers. Please make sure you are drawing the fence. You are finding the variable. You are doing the same thing on both sides to get the variable alone. And you are finishing your answer. Okay? Go forth. Good luck.